Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. The City of Westminster has a new general plan. It's a blueprint for how the city will develop in the future. It's been years in the making and the first one in 20 years. With us now, someone who is instrumental in developing the plan. His name is Sergio Contreras, and he's on the City Council in the City of Westminster. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, you have a real point of reference as far as this development of the general plan because you were born and raised in the City of Westminster, so you've seen a lot of changes over the years. You know a lot of people, and you have a perspective on where the city might be best to head.
Yes, Westminster is my hometown. It's the place where I've learned how to ride a bike and hit my first home run, so I'm very excited to be able to serve there. I've served there. I lived there for 43 years. I served as a school board member for 8 years before becoming a councilman, and now I was elected in 2012, and I've been proud to be reelected again this past last election cycle.
Do you feel a lot of your passion, your goals are reflected in the new general plan?
I believe my heart and soul is in the general plan, and I believe the community's heart and soul is in the plan. It was a very, very, very long process. It took us about almost 2 years to put together. We brought together over 23 residents from throughout the community, from all walks of life, moved beyond the usual suspects, and we would meet every month, quarterly, just to refine and refine and refine. It's been just a joy.
What does the general plan address? Which areas of the city development do you look at?
For us, it's been about really overall entire Westminster, just the development, growth, where we allow for certain growth, transportation, economic development, even our parks master plan. Those are big pieces that the city has just sort of put to the side for the past 20 years, and it's time to reboot and try something new.
For a person living there, what are some of the changes that they'll be able to notice and experience?
Well, one of the things about our city is we're in between two freeways. We're between the 405 freeway and the 22 freeway. And so we're right next to Huntington Beach, Seal Beach, Stanton, and Garden Grove, and they're all growing. They're just thriving, and Westminster, for some reason, we've sort of taken a little nap, and so now we're starting to realize that we're a little behind. So I think that we're going to be able to start catching up with this general plan. It's going to allow us to compete and open the door for growth and opportunities that we're very excited about.
Give us some of the highlights.
Well, one of the biggest ones that I'm excited about is the Westminster Mall. The Westminster Mall used to be a gem for Orange County. It used to be the beacon of business, and over the years it's just retracted. And so now with the general plan, it's going to allow us to look at creating possibly an indoor-outdoor mall, allow for some housing around the mall. We've also looked at some areas, especially near downtown Westminster, and actually creating a downtown, allowing our civic center to develop and allow for some mixed use. There's also some arteries down Westminster Boulevard, some of our main thoroughways, that will just allow for new development, new housing, and while still protecting neighborhoods. So, I mean, one thing about Westminster, we love our neighborhoods. We love our quiet, peace and quiet, our bedroom community, but there's a lot that's missing. There's a lot of growth.
Well, it sounds like you're acknowledging things have changed. The reason we go to shopping centers, it's not just to shop anymore. Sometimes it's to return the things we bought online. There's more of a social aspect that people are looking for in the open air things and the kinds of housing that you're talking about with the live-work kind of opportunity there.
Absolutely right, and you're right. Shopping is an experience, and I'm very excited. For example, at the mall, going back to the mall, we've brought back some new family businesses like Sky Zone Trampoline Park. We have a John's Incredible Pizza that's opening up really soon. All different ways to try to lure families back into the mall and hopefully bring some good businesses.
Let's talk about the action plan, how you're going to put all of this into motion.
Well, I'm excited about it because we've actually brought the group that created the general plan to help put together, and we've redesignated them, gave them a new title. They're now our Economic Development Committee, and they're going to help us literally implement this plan. They're at the table, they're engaged with us. We're going to be checking back in with them to make sure we're on track, getting more ideas from them, figuring out ways to bring in new businesses, and just bringing them into the process. And it's not so much just a council thing, it's a community process it's an ongoing community process.
Now, the general plan, it's a concept of where you want to go. Is it also regulations? This is where you have to go?
Well, for us, it's what the community decided. You know, it's funny, we actually had our general plan, and it was adopted with no opposition. Absolutely no opposition. It's unheard of. I don't know a city that's had that luxury. It's because the city came together, and so our boundaries were pretty much the ones we set ourselves. So we're very excited about it.
So people came together. It really is about the community coming together, saying this is what we want, and it is the community who will implement it.
Absolutely, and and I think we have a lot of community pride in Westminster, and I think that this is a way to give them an outlet and an opportunity to get engaged in the process and take it to the next level.
The city is back on its feet financially too. There were some bumpy parts with the loss of the redevelopment agency money, and you have recently, the city collectively decided to increase the sales tax by 1%. Talk about what that means to the city.
That really means that we get to exist. I mean, literally, hopefully for another 60 years, because Westminster is going to be celebrating a 60-year anniversary this coming year. And I think one of the things that our community values is public safety. And the 1 cent sales tax is going to allow us to continue to preserve our public safety, continue to do more work in our public community policing, which our community loves. But most of all, it's public safety, giving people a safe place to live and thrive.
Is this a solution for long term? Do you expect it to be extended beyond the 6-year projected?
It's a great question. I think that it gives us a little bit of time for us to figure out a different solution and maybe look at hopefully development will help us out and business will help us out. But we're definitely looking at planning long term. We don't expect it to continue, and we hope it doesn't, but we're definitely looking at different ways to bring some revenue into the city.
Yeah, how is revenue compared to the dog days when everyone was having a terrible time in the recession?
I think things are a lot better now. I mean, we just had, for example, with the growth, we built 300 homes. We just sold our first $900,000 home, almost $1 million home in Westminster, which I think is amazing. If the economy is starting to turn, we have some new hotels coming to the city. There's a lot of growth, so I think things are starting to spur, and I think the general plan lays the context for it and the opportunities for it.
Now you have the context as having grown up and hit that first, I like the way you said you hit your first home run in the city of Westminster. That implies there will be many, many more.
I hope so.
What are the other things you're excited to see, the prospects in the future of the city of Westminster?
I'm looking forward to continuing to create outlets for residents that still believe in our hometown of Westminster. I'm looking at a Love Westminster program, maybe a community development program where we have tools available for the community to rent, such as lawnmowers and scissors, and just to do work on their yard and just borrow them and return them and give someone else the opportunity to use those tools to beautify their front yard and just keep making Westminster a clean, safe place for families to grow. It
is about families, about community. How would you describe the city of Westminster to someone who's never been there?
I think a safe place with great climate and a great place full of opportunity, and that's what we are. There's a lot of hope in Westminster. We have a thriving Little Saigon district that's starting to bloom and blossom over the years, and more people are trying to take note of it. I think that the mall will surely come back, and there's a lot there. And I think my goal really is to continue to engage the community and give them the opportunities and give them that time to show up and play.
Yeah, well, you've given a lot of thought, and we wish you the best in implementing all of these plans in your general plan, and we appreciate you being here today. Sergio Contreras, Westminster City Councilman.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. And glad you could join us too. I'm Leslie Leyton.